For over 15 years, we witnessed something unbelievable. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo weren't just competing with each other, they were competing with history. Every season, it wasn't about whether they'll be great or not. It was about how ridiculous their numbers were going to be. 50 goals, 60 goals, 90 goals in a calendar year. And the Ballon d'Or became a joke between them. Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or, and they just made it look normal. But you know what? Now that their era is over, something feels different. The numbers feel human again, and the records don't surprise us. And you know what? I feel like we never stepped back to truly understand and realize what was happening in front of our eyes. So I wanted to make this video to reset the scale, to remind us what greatness truly looked like and whether or not current players can even come into the conversation of Messi and Ronaldo. Because Messi and Ronaldo didn't just destroy their era, they redefined how we watch football. And let's get into it, because in the modern era, football has produced a lot of legends, icons, all-time greats, players whose names will live forever. But there's one particular stat that separates greats from true elites. And strangely, no one ever talks about it. 50 goals and a Ballon d'Or. For example, Marco van Basten, an absolute legend of the game, won the Ballon d'Or 3 times and scoring 30 plus goals. And in that era, 30 goals was the standard. We saw legends like Rivaldo, Andriy Shevchenko cap off their best seasons with around 30 goals, and that was considered elite production. If you go up a level though, things start to change. Ronaldo Nazario and Gerd Muller were 2 of only 4 players in history to ever score 50 goals in the same season they won the Ballon d'Or. And because of that, they weren't just called great players, they were called phenomena. Outside of actual Ballon d'Or winners, only a handful of players, names like Romario, Luis Suarez, Robert Lewandowski, and a few all-time legends have ever breached the 50-goal mark once or twice across their entire careers. But this is where football stops making sense. Between them, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo broke the 50-goal barrier a combined 12 times and won the Ballon d'Or 13 times. So while many legendary careers were reduced to 1 or 2 seasons of peak greatness, Messi and Ronaldo were doing what the very best players in history struggled to do consistently, and they did it for more than a decade. They didn't just raise the bar, they embarrassed football. And now that their era is over, the Ballon d'Or still exists, great players are still around, but the standard feels extremely low. Just a few months ago, we were seriously debating Rodri and Vinicius Jr.'s 30-odd combined goal contributions, and then comparing them to Lamine Yamal and Ousmane Dembele in the Ballon d'Or conversations. And honestly, that just feels embarrassing, because Messi and Ronaldo completely distorted how we view football. They reprogrammed expectations. They essentially ruined the scale we judge greatness by. And today, we're going to look at the insane records this generation would have to beat to even approach Messi and Ronaldo's level. For much of his career, Lionel Messi has been regarded as a genius. But one thing that truly cemented that status is this. Between 2009 and 2019, a full decade, Messi became the first and only player in history to score 40 goals plus in 10 consecutive club seasons. Alongside that, he's the only player to ever win the FIFA Player of the Year in 3 different decades, the 2000s, the 2010s, and the 2020s. Those 2 stats alone showcase unreal longevity. To put it into perspective, Kylian Mbappe would have to score 40 goals for Real Madrid for 7 straight seasons just to match Messi's run. And since Mbappe never won the FIFA Ballon d'Or, even if he won it once in the 2020s, he'd still need to win it again in the 2030s and the 2040s just to match Messi. That's absurd. It's the kind of thing that only someone like Lamine Yamal can even theoretically attempt, simply because of how young he is. And speaking of Lamine Yamal, there's another Messi record that just might be on his radar. At just 23 years old, Lionel Messi became the youngest player ever to win 2 Ballon d'Ors. He won his first after the iconic Champions League performance against Manchester United in Rome, and then won it again in 2010 after putting up 60 goal contributions. Lamine Yamal is currently 18, which means he has 5 years to break that record, and considering he'd be competing with players like Mbappe and Haaland at their prime, it's an enormous challenge. And Messi has plenty more outrageous records. But now, let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo for a second. Ronaldo is arguably the greatest goal scorer the game has ever seen. with over 960 goals in his career at the current recording of this video. But one record truly separates him from everyone else. He's the only player in football history to score 40 plus goals in 13 different calendar years. What makes this even more insane is that his first 40 goal calendar year came in 2010 when he was just 25 years old. He continued doing it until he was 38 years old. 8 of those seasons came after he turned 30. For context, Yamal hasn't even reached one yet, and both Haaland and Mbappe would need to do this for 8 more years just to match Ronaldo, while already being only 4 to 5 years away from turning 30 themselves. Ronaldo also holds another record that might be impossible to touch. He's the only player to score 50 plus goals in 6 consecutive seasons and 60 plus goals in 4 different calendar years. Haaland has hit 50 goals just once, and Mbappe hasn't even done it yet. That 60 goal 4-year record might genuinely never be broken. And just when you think the numbers can't get any more ridiculous, there's one goal scoring accolade that I bet my life would never be touched. Lionel Messi's 91 goals in a single calendar year. When Messi did this, he scored a goal every 66 minutes. That's a 1.32 goals per game ratio for an entire year. Something that completely defies logic. And while we're talking about scoring consistency, Messi also holds the record for the most consecutive league matches scored in La Liga, 33 goals across 21 straight games in 2013. That's not just form, that's perfection sustained over time. He also became the oldest player to ever win the World Cup Golden Ball, and that was at 35 years old. At an age where most legends retire or spend their time on the beach, Messi was still the best player in the biggest stage in football, once again proving he isn't human. He also set another record at that tournament, becoming the player with the most Man of the Match awards at a single World Cup, winning 5 in 2022. Even crazier, he became the first player to ever win Man of the Match at every single stage of the tournament: group stage, round of 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the final. So Messi wasn't just a monster at Barcelona, he proved he can dominate international football at the highest level. And that's not just him. Cristiano Ronaldo's international career is just as absurd. Messi and Ronaldo are joint record holders for the most international hat-tricks with 10 each, but Ronaldo stands alone in the following: the European player with the most goals in Euro qualifiers, 41, the European player with the most goals in World Cup qualifiers, 41, the all-time scorer in Euro tournament history, 14, the all-time leading scorer for a European nation with 143 goals for Portugal. Now compare that to the current generation. Kylian Mbappe currently has around 11 Euro qualifier goals, 20 World Cup qualifier goals, 6 Euro tournament goals, and just over 50 international goals total. And Erling Haaland has roughly 8 Euro qualifier goals, 26 World Cup qualifier goals, and over 50 international goals overall. To match Ronaldo, Mbappe will still need 30 more Euro qualifier goals, 20 more World Cup qualifier goals, 8 more Euro tournament goals, and roughly 90 additional international goals for France. And Haaland would still need over 30 more Euro qualifier goals, 15 more World Cup qualifier goals, 14 more Euro tournament goals, and over 110 more international goals for Norway. And as for Lamine Yamal, he's just starting, meaning he'll need to build everything from scratch. And with Mbappe and Haaland already 26 and 25, and most players slowing down after the age of 30, it remains a massive question whether anyone of this generation can come even close. Because beating these records doesn't just require talent, it requires insane longevity, perfect timing, and historic consistency. And that's why Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just dominate football, they redefined what greatness even means. Well, that's it. I have been wanting to do this video for a while just to kind of put it into perspective where the current footballers are from Lionel Messi. I feel like Messi and Ronaldo have just destroyed the way that we view football. They have ruined, how do I say? They've just made it so that we can't watch football the same way. I remember coming off the 2022 FIFA World Cup and then going into watching the season, I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Because like it's just the standard was so high and the quality of football was so high. Just imagine between the years of even just 2010 up until 2020, we were witnessing the greatest footballing era ever, you know, and the amount of players even outside of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi were just unbelievable. So yeah, it's absolutely insane. This video is a collaboration with Football 404. He has made some of the most amazing football content out there on YouTube. So be sure to check out his channel. And like always, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. And let me know what you guys want to see next. That's all, folks. That's all from me. That's all from Football 404. Thank you guys for watching. Take care and peace.
I got the sauce. I got the sauce. I got the sauce. I got the juice. I got the juice. You other niggas look confused. I got the sauce. I got the sauce. Yeah, I got the sauce. Yeah, I got the sauce. I got the sauce. Nigga, I got the sauce. I got the sauce. I got the juice. Watch. I got the juice. Watch. I got the sauce. I got the sauce. Yeah, I got the sauce.